What's up with y'all, man? Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. Make sure you hit that like, sub, and comment, and hit them notifications too. Look, this is Polo Motivation, bro. And listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: we can all say the setback for the comeback was, you know, a big setback for even a major comeback, however you want to put it, man. But that's easier said than done. You actually got to put action behind it, man. See, a lot of times, man, we sit here and we'll get a setback, right? Get something that holds you back. You'll be at the bottom of the barrel. You feel like, man, ain't no way I could get out of this. Like Moray did say, you feel like you are in quicksand. You feel me? What's up with it, TJ, man? Hope you feeling better, man. Hope everything is good with you and the wife, man. Y'all are definitely in my prayers, man. So my condolences to you, brother. And y'all go subscribe to my boy TJ. TJ Boxing and Sports, man. Definitely got a good channel. Definitely bringing good content as well. Like I was saying, man, it doesn't matter what obstacle that you face with. When you go for that comeback, when you go for that comeback, man, you got to make sure that you stand behind that. Because we can say, okay, yeah, setback for the comeback all day, but if you're not putting the action necessary to come back, it's not gonna happen for you. A lot of times it's mainly mental. It's mainly mental, man. It's your mental capacity. It's and you got to be cerebral with it, man. You have to go out and you have to actually execute everything. Like you look at a lot of players that are faced with injuries, and I'm interpreting it to sports at this point in time because I mean a lot of athletes they deal with adversity, they deal with setbacks, they deal with obstacles, they deal with uh, barricades or barriers, whatever you want to call it, speed bumps in life. The thing about it is though a lot of these guys really feel at, at some point that everything's all over, and some of them can never quite recover. That's why a lot of them do turn to drugs, alcohol, whatever addiction that they choose, and they kind of make that they anti-drug or whatnot. Really, really, I knew a guy one time, man. He played in the NFL. He played in the NFL, and he had it all. Okay, he had it all, and then he ended up getting in some trouble. That was a setback. You know what I'm saying? He was always. I mean, he got in trouble here and there. You understand? It wasn't nothing that was gonna send you to to prison or anything like that. But he ended up having to do some time. I think it was like 5 years. And when he got out, he was still relatively young. He was still relatively young. I think he had hit 30 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He got he was like 30, 33 or something like that. He was young, real young, man. He ended up doing some time, and they're like, man, hey, ain't you the guy that was you did this and you did that, man. You woozy woozy woo. You were successful. What you in the NFL and all of this stuff, man. And And it wasn't just like one or two people. It was, everybody was asking, what happened, and pretty much, man, he kept having to explain himself. But one day, man, he said, I'm just tired of explaining myself. I'm tired of people asking me, what happened to me and stuff like that. And he couldn't come to grips with it. And he was drinking a lot, drink a whole hell of a lot. You know what I'm saying? Turn to drugs and stuff. And he ended up becoming damn near, suicidal to the point where he wanted to take his life away. You know, and we had to have people talk to him and stuff because you would think that this guy, being big and strong, athletic, and everything, he would be able to just recover from that, and that couldn't have been further from the truth because that guy was just as mentally weak as just a normal human being in everyday life, and there were people that were normal that were trying to tell him, okay, hey, look, man, you got to get up. You gotta be able to rebound from this. And he ended up uh, coming back, man, and then he opened up a business. He ended up opening up a business. It took him a little bit. He struggled for a while, took him a couple of years actually, but he nevertheless was able to execute what I'm talking about right now, which is setback for the comeback. It's not an overnight thing, man. Like when you talk about success and when you talk about reaching your goal, your accomplishment, and everything, because it's gonna be setbacks, but it's how you deal with them. You have to go through that stuff. If you don't go through any type of setbacks or any type of adversity, then it's not gonna build no character. If you don't go through any type of setbacks or any type of adversity, you're not gonna live to tell your story. So it's easier said than done. We sit here and we whine and we complain about us not having things or us not being where we want to be and all this other stuff. It's like you feel like you just stuck. You can't feel that way. You can't feel that way. You have to put action behind what you're doing. If you want to be a better communicator with people, then you actually have to put action behind that, and you can't let that set you back. You can't let that hold you back. If people think that, okay, well, man, this guy don't know how to communicate well. He doesn't know how to get in touch with anybody. He doesn't know how to do this or how to do that. Well, you got to put action behind it and actually show people, okay, hey, look. And then next thing you know, people are going to see that you turn a new leaf. But really, you shouldn't be focused. Like I said, you shouldn't be focused on what people think or anything like that. Whether you turn a new leaf or not, because you got to end up being yourself anyways. Yourself is the only person that you really should appease. But if you are fearful of talking in front of people or something like that, then like I said, the best way to beat fear is attack fear. You know what I'm saying? So don't let setbacks, little like small little setbacks, because that's what they are. They small in the beginning. It might be something major to a lot of people around you, like a number of people around you, whether it's your family, friends, people that you care about, and everything like that, and they constantly telling you about it. You might have gotten some trouble. You might have gotten trouble with the law, okay? And now you can't get a job. You can't get a job. You can't get the job that you want, or you can't even get in the career that you want. But you steadily got people constantly telling you, okay, well, yeah, if you wouldn't have gotten in trouble, then you wouldn't have been able to do this, or if you wouldn't have gotten in trouble, then guess what? You wouldn't have been locked up, and that way you could have been. And some of them will boast. Some of them will be like, well, look, I didn't get in trouble, and look at me, and look where I am. And it's gonna burn you up inside. But you know what? Hey, it's gonna take some time, but you got to be patient. You got to calm down, and you can't even look. Really, don't look at where you at. Look at where you're going, and eventually you're gonna be so far. You're gonna be so far ahead. You're not even gonna think about it, and you won't need to think about it because you're gonna be so damn busy. The best way to do that is you got to put action behind whatever you're doing, whatever setback that might come. You know, I listen. I had a problem with dealing with with diversity. I would say I had a problem with dealing with losing people. You understand what I'm saying? Like I had trouble with people that that ultimately transition. But I said in order for me to get better and to actually evolve, I got to make that I got to make that a major comeback in terms of my mental. So whenever I had to go to a funeral, or whenever I had to go, to somebody, a pass, a wake or something like that. Hey, after a while, it was just like, okay, this is the norm. It's a part of life, and that's how I had to look at it. That's just one thing, That hey, look, I don't get on here to try to think that when I do this polo motivation, bro. I don't do this just because I think that I'm perfect or I'm better than you or anything like that. No, that's not the case. I get on this, man, because there are some things that I have struggled with. There are some things that I'm working on, and there's some things that you could work on too. Because everybody that gets on here, they can act like they're perfect. And I'm not just talking about YouTube. I'm talking about just in general, even on TV and even in everyday life. You might meet a good-looking female that's very pretty, got a nice body and everything. What's up with it? LA Sports Live. I see you in the building, man. Y'all go check out my boy, LA Sports Live. Matter of fact, you know what? Hey, LA Sports, I'll drop you a link if you want to come in, man. Cause I like hearing, and I didn't know about TJ if he wanted to come in either. I didn't know if he wanted to come in, but I like hearing uh LA Sports Live definitely talk, man, cause he we don't agree on some things, but he definitely he be spitting some facts on a lot of things or whatnot. But nevertheless, man, it's still my boy, man. He got dope content. Go check his channel out. But basically, man, I'm not trying to get on here to say that everything is all lined up, man, because sometimes your ducks do get out of place. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody got their ducks in a row. If everybody in society had their ducks in a row, then guess what? This world would be such a quiet place. It would actually be pretty boring. You know, we got to think about like a philosopher that once said, crime is good. Okay, and the reason why he said that is because without crime and without any type of negative things that are going on in society, there would be no doctors, judges, lawyers, nurses, doctors, anything like that. If there were no sicknesses or diseases or anything like that, a lot of these people wouldn't even have a job in the medical field and stuff. So that's what you have to look at it. But that's how you have to look at you know it, you being successful. You have to go through the adversity. You got to go through the struggle, and then you got to Lambo leap over that struggle or whatever, and remember that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Anybody that tells you that it's a It's a sprint. They a lie. Don't let people lie to you like that. It's not. It's not a sprint. Nothing is a sprint. And if it's a sprint, guess what? That means it's gonna end fast. But if you slow cooking and you take things slow, everything's gonna you're gonna not only enjoy it better, but you're gonna feel better about it. You know what I'm saying? Where you like, man, I got to this quick fast in a hurry. You're always gonna be looking over your shoulder because you're gonna be like, nah, something's not right here. You're gonna have some suspicions about some stuff. So it's just like with Earl Spence in the situation that he's going on right now. About him, the retina tear and everything like that. Some people are questioning whether or not this guy is afraid to take a L, or and just wants to back out of the fight or something like that. But really, man, he worked so hard and was so dedicated and stuff like that. It could have just been just a real setback, some adversity that man had to go through, unfortunately. So now he has to work 10 times harder than that. He's been faced with a car accident. Then on top of that, not only from a car accident, then he got the retinal tear. Having to work himself back. So he's been faced with a lot of adversity. But like I said, man, it's all in how you deal with it. We sit here and we say, okay, nah, man, that ain't nothing but a setback, man. You come back from that, man. Listen, man, listen, it's gonna happen. But bouncing back, you always got to bounce back. But it's easier said than done. You really have to put some muscle behind whatever setback that you're trying to be resilient from. We sit up here constantly on a daily, telling somebody else that they can overcome this and overcome that. But really, it's you that needs to be the one to overcome that. How you gonna tell your kids or your wife or your brother, sister, cousin, whatever? How you gonna tell them to, hey man, don't worry about it, man. You gonna bounce back and everything, and you can't even bounce back yourself. You dealing with some demons that you can't even confront. You got to take a long look sometimes in your mirror. And so you don't even need to look in no mirror, man. Just do some genuine soul searching of how to overcome, because that's really what it's about, is overcoming in order for you to get to that next level. That's why a lot of people don't go to the next level. They don't go to the next level in anything. You know why? Because they sit there and they let a setback dictate every single little thing that they've done. Every little, they let it dictate what they're trying to become. And a lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are afraid to be resilient. It's not an easy thing. Uh, there might have been a situation where you were embarrassed. Okay, you might have got embarrassed to the point where everybody's shaming you or talking about you and everything, and everywhere you go, man, it's like, man, dang, they talking about me again, stuff like that. Dealing with something like that, and it has set you back. It set you back from what you can accomplish. It set you back from you being able to work comfortably. It set you back from you being focused on your career. You know, but what you're gonna have to do is you'll have to make light of that situation, and you got to put action behind saying, okay, hey, look, I'm finna bounce back from that. But don't if you keep just telling yourself and then you just sitting there and you're not moving, then what are you really doing? It's not gonna help the situation out at all. It's not gonna help the situation out at all. You know, I I keep I keep doing the polo motivation, bruh, because I know that there's some people that really got to get up and move. It's easy for us to sit up here and talk about the things that we want to do and talk about the things that we can bounce back from and everything like that. But like I said, man, you putting action behind it, that's gonna speak volumes for what you're doing. And like I said, you can't be worried about anybody else and what they thinking, because the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. Listen, and I know I'm not preaching to no choir because I know there's some people that genuinely really need to hear this. There's some people out there that really don't know how to leap over a setback that they've been faced with. Your setback might be some demons that you're fighting. Your setback might be might be you drinking too much. Your setback might be you feeling like you overweight and you can't get motivated in order for you to lose that weight so that you can accomplish whatever you need to accomplish because you're so busy focused on that weight. Your 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 skin might not be as great. You might not feel that you look a certain way because people had told you that in the past. You might be you might something might be wrong with your hair or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You might not dress the same way like you used to and all that other stuff. All these stuff are setbacks. So to some people they minor, to some people they major. But either way, you got to arise from that. And you gotta write those things down and you gotta be able to make sure that you put action behind what you're doing. A lot of people don't do that though. They say, okay, well, hey, man, I'm trying to get to this many followers or this many likes or man, I'm trying to build this on I'm trying to build this platform on my IG or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to promote this brand or whatever. It's just not working. Stuff like that, man. I feel like giving up and stuff like that. Well, you've already gave up if you're telling yourself that. You've already given up. You've already given up if you tell yourself something like that. Don't even think about it though. You really can't even think about it. You got a way woo way. You know what I'm saying? That's a ancient Japanese uh, saying from the yin and the yang. That means to do without thinking. You know what I'm saying? It should be second nature to you. You know what I'm saying? In an instance, and see you you having a setback be like you have to get used to setbacks, if that makes any sense. Don't don't sit there and be like, oh yeah, I want a setback. I want a setback. No, not like that. But if a setback comes, you'll be more prepared for it. You'll know how to deal with it. If don't nobody, if like for instance, if nobody wants to be around you or something like that, and that's a setback that you have, be like, man, I'm used to it. I'm used to not having nobody around. I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, there's gonna be some people that want to be around you. If nobody's coming to your business, nobody is buying what you're selling or anything like that. Be like, man, oh well, I was prepared for this. It's gonna be just as many no's as there is yeses, so it ain't no big deal. Just gotta keep striving. That's what you have to do. What's up with it, Jacob? Link is already in there if you want to come in, man, and chop it up, bro. Salute to Jacob. But The setbacks are gonna come. You got to bounce back no matter what it is. And your character, your character is a test of that. Your character is a testament of that. It's gonna be many people, it's gonna be many people that they're gonna try to do the comparison and contrast to a lot of things. They're gonna undermine you, they're gonna say this and say that when you do have a setback. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. If you do listen to it, then learn from it. Cause that's what you have to do. You have to learn from a setback. You gotta learn from that obstacle. That like one 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 of the things like one of my partners used to tell me, he said, "Man, don't be sorry about it, learn from it." You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while to understand that because we sit up there, we make a mistake or we get in some trouble or something like that, and then we go tell the judge, okay, you said too loud where I'm at, music in the background. Okay, nah, that's cool. It's all good, Jacob, man. I'm gonna be going live later, man. So hopefully, like you can come through at lunch or something like that. I'm gonna start. Hey, Jacob, man, on this channel, man, I'm gonna start doing some things. It's gonna be like it's gonna be different segments that's gonna trip you out, but it's for the average working individual. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to tell. I have to like email you and tell you what I'm talking about because I don't. A lot of people be stealing concepts and ideas and stuff like that, but it's gonna come later. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I know what he's doing. So it's all good, Jacob. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, man. It's all good, man. Nah, I'm going live today. Hey, Jacob, man. The reason why I couldn't really go live like that yesterday, man, is because I was so focused on. I had to make sure that everything went good with my daughter first day. You understand what I'm saying? So it was kind of like in case they called me because I needed something, I had to have the phone on deck. But I think everything is copacetic now and everything. So I had a lot of things going, had a lot of things going over the weekend and stuff too, man. And I know that you've been working and been on your grind too. So, but man, nevertheless, I'm back on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going even harder. You feel me? And that's what we got to continue to do. That's what we do over here at the LDBC. Over here, it's the Lions Den mentality, and that's what I'm telling you, man. About that's first and foremost the kid. Yeah, 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 man. Yeah, you know, family first. And shoot. And if you're the only one, in the house or something, shoot, take care of yourself first. Look, I don't listen. I don't never like my boy Jacob, man. I don't never if he gone or something like that. Yeah, some ice cream money. Yeah, nah, you know what, man? Cause she gonna abuse that, man. She gonna be up in there. If you give her an inch, she gonna try to take a mile, man. You give her some ice cream money, she gonna try to get all these candy and stuff like that, man. So I'm like, nah. But you know, it's like Jacob, man. We both had setbacks at the same time, man. We had faced some little adversity in terms of our family or whatnot, and it was rough for us. You know what I'm saying? I know I've experienced adversity right in my house. You know what I'm saying? Concerning my wife and everything. But I can't sit up here, me being a man, me being me being the gatekeeper, me being the rock. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stay solid at all times. That's just a fact right there. Yeah, we sit here, Jacob, man, and a lot of our people, man, that are suffering. It might have been because of minor setbacks. Like me and you, Jacob, we probably look at that, man, and be like, man, what? Um, oh shit. Oh yeah, she's good, Jacob. I thank you for all of your prayers, man, and I thank everybody that definitely um put her up, lifted her up, because yeah, she doing a lot better. So like I said, it's something that she was able to bounce back from. My wife is very resilient, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing. People that are struggling, especially in our community, they might have been a person that was a prominence. They might have been gifted and talented, but because they had a minor setback, guess what it did? It set them back to the point where they could never recover. And so they ended up turning to some sort of addiction, or they probably never even turned to an addiction. They just was just depressed. Depression is a real thing, man. It's a real thing, and it happens because of a lot of things. But one of the major things is because of a setback. That's why a lot of people they never can accomplish it. They can't even. They think that an accomplishment is out of reach. They think an accomplishment is out of reach. They don't think that anything is possible. For real. They think everything is is impossible. Yes, I've dealt with it for a while. Yeah, yeah, but Jacob, look, you've been able to bounce back. I wouldn't have never known it though, because Jacob, man, you always come here, you like, laughing, joking, playing around, you know what I'm saying? But you also you got a lot of wisdom too. Then on top of that, you always speak and everything. You always give the salutation, salute to everybody. You wouldn't have never known that. You know what I'm saying? It's like what they tell you, Jacob. Leave your problems in the car whenever you go to work. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to leave your problems in the car, and that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do whenever you have a setback or something, man. You got to leave that problem in the car. These people that are at your job, or when you have a business that you're running and stuff like that, people are expecting you to be on your A game all the time and stuff, regardless of whatever situation that you got going. Yeah, we understand real life, but some people don't, though, Jacob. Some people don't. Some people don't. They think that, okay, it might have been a situation like I was speaking earlier, where an individual gets into trouble, right? And they end up doing time. They'll ask the Lord why. They'll question God, you know what I'm saying? To the point where they have a lot of anger against the most high. You feel me? And they never recover from that. And it's so deep to the point where it's like they you don't man, it's like you want to be around that person. But at the same token, it's like, man, I don't know about this guy. I want to be around that person, but man, I got to get that guy some help. It's that type of internal struggle, and that person might have been great at what they do. They might have been great at a certain craft. They might have been gifted at something, but because they let a setback, or they let a barrier hold them back mentally or whatnot, man, they'll end up like Eddie Kane from Five Heartbeats. You know what I'm saying? I look at that. I mean, some people might think it's comical when they talk about Eddie Kane, old Eddie Kane. And for those of y'all that don't know, Eddie Kane he was a character in the movie Five Heartbeats. I think Jacob knows what I'm talking about. But Eddie Kane was the lead singer. He was the most talented at one. But he ended up getting he ended up messing with them drugs, man, and drugs and alcohol, and it took a toll on him. And it took so much of a toll on him that he saw the group starting to progress without him. And he tried to come back when they got rid of him out of the group or whatever because of his addiction. He tried to, yeah, Jacob. Nights like this, nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Yeah. So, but see, it's comical to some people, but no, that type of stuff really happens, and they wanted to get him some help because he was set back, But like I said, he had a skill, he had a craft, he had a gift in singing. You know what I'm saying? He could sing. He was natural at it. He was a natural blower. But the fact was is that he needed to take a step back for a while. And guess what? At the end, he ended up getting his life clean. You know what I'm saying? Going to church. You know what I'm saying? And turning his life around. And he ended up singing. He ended up still singing, except he was doing it. He was doing it for the spiritual relief, as opposed to the secular. So I mean, it happens like that, and that stuff right there is not anything new. So it's always a setback for the comeback, but you got to put action behind it. You got to put action behind everything necessary that is gonna arise in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you get evicted from your place or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Hey, that was the song, man. Yeah, that was the song, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, Jacob, man. That movie right there, man. It especially right there, man. That you could feel it in your bones, man. You know what I'm saying? That and Temptations. That and Temptations, man. I like them both. And the thing about it, Leon was in both. It's like Leon. It's like Leon in every singing movie, man. Leon was a guy, bruh. But yeah, Eddie Kane, man, that was my guy. But you know what though, Jacob? Now that I'm jumping off the subject just a little bit, man. That's why I like Jacob coming around, man. We both random, bro. As well as Nola Boy. Shout out to Nola Boy Sports too. My boy James. Go check his channel out, man. We all random. I talk about something. We go on and on. Yeah, he could sing for real. I liked him in Sugar Hill though. I liked him. I liked him in Sugar Hill. That movie right there. That was that's a classic. And nobody even talks about it. But yeah, he got hit with a setback. And see, I don't never I don't get on here and like I tell Jacob, man, I'm a human being. It's just like last night we were talking about Kristaps Porzingis, right? Kristaps Porzingis, he has little spurts. Yeah, they don't know nothing about that, man. They don't know nothing about no five heartbeats. Yeah, like okay, uh, like maybe you, I would say James T Price. Shout out to T Price too. Go sub to his channel. Ticket probably know. Um, some of the older guys, man, that are on the panel. Like Elder, Too Raw, LB. They know LVZ. They know what Five Heartbeats is, and a movie like that. But a lot of people don't know uh what that movie what that movie was about, much less even that movie existed. So but yeah, that's my movie, man. And I'm gonna say this, like, if a situation is is coming, it's just like what I was talking about with Kristaps Porzingis. Sorry for getting off the subject. If like with Kristaps Porzingis, he has not been able to recover, and I think that a lot of it has to do with mentally. It's got a lot to do with mentally. I think it has a lot to do with with the psychological being that he was injured and everything, and he wants to kind of get back. He doesn't quite know how to come to grips with being that player who he once was. But see, that has set him back in a way. Now, see, with a situation like that, he would need to go to somebody, I would say like a Grant Hill or somebody like that has dealt with something way more serious in terms of injury to the point where it was a life or death situation and he was able to come back, still be able to play and still be able to make the Hall of Fame. He finished what he started. Grant Hill is a perfect example of being able to uh, set back for the comeback. And he came back. Now, was he the Grant Hill of old and all of that? No. But it was a joy and a blessing for him to even just be running up and down the court like he was, and at least be a good contributor on the court. It was a great thing for him. I think Young, man, knows what Five Heartbeats was, Jacob.
Is
Cause
that what?
Sterling Young know he like music.
Is
If
that
that nigga
what?
know what Delirious is and know what Raw is, that nigga for sure hell know what Five Heartbeats are.
Is that what? You better
Ah,
hold tonight. Stand up, stand up.
ain't got no money.
Ain't got no time.
Don't live a life of a. I got nothing but love for you, babe. Let me stop, man. I be annoying the shit out of Sterling
No,
Young, bro. Singing and
no,
shit.
no, it's foot, no, it's foot. No, I'm good. I read that funny thing when the lead singer had signed to it was a dude named Red, and then it was like, yo, what is this? And the guy was like, I ain't got something.
Hey, remember he got shot in one leg. And then he was like, "Oh
My
shit,
leg.
my other leg." Yeah. Then they ended up making it to the show all late, and then I think was like, "Ah." Yeah. Okay, Young.
Yeah,
You already know, man. The Polo motivation, bro. You know how we get down here, man. What you
yeah.
got on this, man? Setback for the comeback, man. You say
Um,
whatever you want to on this, man. Take it
no,
away.
like else, I don't call it a comeback. uh, comebacks. Um, it's very difficult. Definitely is. I remember when I was a kid, I had an injury on my leg, on my leg, and they said I told my ankle. I broke my ankle. No, I was limping. No, I was limping, and I broke my foot. I broke my foot, and you know me. You know me. I hated surgeries. I do not like surgery, so I was like, "Ma, I'm not going to no doctor. The doctors ain't going to surgery me up. I'm not getting those things on my body. That I just don't like surgery." So like my mom, she just started. She put this thing. She put this orange. She had this orange, right, and she used to boil it hot, and she puts it on my foot, and she smooths it down, and then it had to be healed for like 2 or 3 days. And when I got when I got healed up for like 5 days, I feel like brand new, because that's what it is, a comeback. It's like a fresh start. When you get that comeback, fresh start, new motivation, new life. Okay, now I'm ready. Now it's time to see what I can do. And then I just came. I remember I just came a beast in a pro basketball league. I was a beast in there after that injury, because I had that injury on me. And that's what sets for the comeback. It's like that's what that's what is down for. Like, can you be ready? Can you come back and be a different player? Can you be motivated? Is people gonna, and also the doubters, because they won't doubt you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he's done. No, he's done. He ain't the same no more like he used to be. He must be tired. He got to give it up. And that's what I love for. That's what I love it for. Just like the motivation, and the negativity coming in. You can't do it. You ain't the same. You ain't gonna be the same no more. And then come back from it and become 10 times better. That's what I like about having a comeback thing, because of that. And also coming back and just being healthy, just work out. It's just that's what I like about me for the gym. When I started having the injury, I couldn't even run, couldn't even walk. So what I used to do, I should go there and just, I can't even use my legs, for example. So all I gotta do for me in the gym, it just kept hopping. I used to hop. I used to, on the workouts. I used to hop on my leg, just with my
Mm-hmm.
right leg. I broke my left leg. I had to hop on my right leg, and I remember that used to hurt, man. It was no, and that's what you got to go through trying to set a comeback. It's those pains that you've been having. You got to deal with those pains to get through it. And what also set for a comeback is just timing. You gotta be timing. You gotta be patient, timing, until you feel
Mm-hmm.
like you're ready. You just can't just rush in like, oh, all right, I'm ready, I'm good. It's like, no, you just gotta just be patient about it, be wiser about it, and just don't get don't rush things and stuff. Just look how AD got injured, because once he got hurt, they put him back in. He got hurt even more. That's what I'm saying. Example, no, just be patient. Just wait for it. Be patient, and just wait for it to come back happen until you feel ready. Because once your body feels ready and you ready, you good.
Right. No, I mean, I had a situation like that happen to a friend, young man. He was a dynamic player, man, and he was right-handed originally, right? And he broke his wrist. You know what I'm saying? He ended up breaking his wrist real bad, and you already know where I'm going with this, man. He had to end up learning how to play left-handed, right? This dude still ended up well, ended up going to a junior college, and then he eventually played D1, and then he ended up playing overseas, man. But most people in that situation, you know what I'm saying, they've been like, oh man, I got to switch from the right to the left. But see, what a lot of people didn't don't understand is that you know, okay, all right, Mr. Yuta, I see you running or whatever. Um, a lot of people don't understand in that situation that would have, they would have been like, you know what, I'm done, I'm depressed. I threw all the trophies away, would have got rid of everything. You know what I'm saying? And they just would have gave up like that. they would have just gave up. But he was able to bounce back, and that's what happened. To you, Sterling. You was able to bounce back and be able to, like you say, you was hopping, hopping on the. Was it the leg that you were injured on? You were trying to hop on.
Oh yes, bro. That was pain. That was definitely painful. Doing the jump up hops, doing that, and that was the most difficult one right there. That almost no, but I remember my my cousin, another cousin, my mother's training, like he trained me. So he told me, no, you gotta have to hop with that leg, told her feel better. So once once it started to get a little, started healing down, started just hopping with it, but it was painful, but it worked.
Still there, young?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, see, we, I happen. Well, see, it happened to me because anybody that's hooped, they already know that. There's no way that you're gonna be able to escape injuries. It's gonna happen. Some of them are lesser than others. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are bigger than others or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But either way, man, you're gonna have to come back from it. And I think it's therapeutic whenever uh, a person or an athlete is able to come back like that. You know what I'm saying? It's it's therapeutic because a lot of people, like you said, they're gonna tell you, "Oh man, well, young man, you ain't gonna, man, you done," and all this other stuff. It's just like with Isaiah Thomas. It's just like with Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? I had Kobe on the thumbnail for the simple fact that when he suffered that the Achilles or whatnot, it was kind of like, okay, uh, damn. Kobe was like, shit, what the fuck? He even said, I think, remember he said, man, one of the reporters asked him, well, Kobe, how do you feel and all this other stuff. Remember, he said in the interview, he was like, look, I can't walk. But you wouldn't have not known that because he still had enough to get up there and did you fall out, young?
No, I ain't full up.
Okay, yeah, but it's just like, man, a lot of people, man, they see and they think it's easy, but it's not. It's easy to just sit up here and fail and all of that, but coming back is the hard thing. Like because once you get hit in that state of depression, like you never come. It's just like what we were talking about with Five Heartbeats and Eddie Kane. That like it was comical. Like I was telling L, I mean not L, Jacob, but he had a real addiction to drugs and everything, but he had a gift and he had a talent that was natural, but he let it be the gift and as well as the curse. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to finally bounce back and ended up going into church and singing and all that other stuff and coming back and stuff like that. So I used that as an example, and then earlier I used an example of Grant Hill because Grant Hill could have gave up,
Hmm.
he could have gave up. but he still was able to come back and be somewhat successful. He okay, was he the Grant Hill of in the Detroit Pistons days? No. But like I said, man, it was real great to even just see him running up and down the court again because he had a near death experience. Was riddled with injuries constantly. You know what I'm saying? People were like wondering if he was ever gonna play again. People were gonna wonder if he was even gonna make it in the hall. And guess what? He ended up making it into the hall. He ended up making it into the hall. But yeah, last night I saw you come in last night, Sterling. What happened, man? You came in and you I think you popped back out.
Well,
Was everything good?
Thunder, Florida, right now. They had shut.
Oh,
They had, yeah.
we was having a good one. We were having a good one last night because we was talking about the Mavericks, man.
I wasn't did it, but when I got back, I was on the other channel with me. It was me, Wilts, and
Mm,
somebody was talking about the super team thing, and yeah, and I had to broke that and I broke down to Wilts. Wilts, no, he was just saying something ridiculous, saying that he put Stephon Marbury and John Stetson together, like compared them. And I'm like, why would you compare them together? That's two totally different. You know, they're no way near from each other. Then
mm,
and they talk about super teams. So I said, okay. And some guy he said about Magic. And I said Magic. I said the Magic team, not Orlando Magic with Magic Johnson with Kareem and them. And they said, oh, they was I
mm-hmm.
said they was all no super teams. I said to me, that's not really super team. And I don't know why people pointed it to. I said I don't. People pointed to the old school. They really looking at the organization success through the draft and through trades because free agency is totally different as the team lose everything. And I'm in most cases they had to start back up from scratch because it's not to say free agency is bad, but and I put an example like what happened in Miami with the Bron thing. I believe it was a terrible precedent purely because they was all in their primes, all franchise players. We all know the future Hall of Fame is no points in their prime, but you can't understand the difference between a team drafting and trading versus a player climbing up to team up. Then there's nothing more that I could say because that's a huge element of luck and randomness from drafting and trading to give assists. And for people that saying that the Celtics will super team, but you got to know Danny Ainge was drafted to the Celtics. Larry Bird was drafted to the Celtics. Kevin McHale was drafted to the Celtics. The only two players that wasn't drafted that was through trades was Dennis and Robert. So, and to
Right.
me, how was that super team when it's through successfully through draft and trading? Like for Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas is drafted to Detroit. Joe Dumars was drafted to Detroit. Dennis Rodman was drafted to Detroit. The only person that didn't do a drafted to Detroit was Bill Laimbeer and Rick, Bill Laimbeer. So
Yeah, because he was with Cleveland.
yeah, so I broke it down perfectly. Like how was that super team when this go come through draft and trades? That's not what super team is.
Well, check this out. I heard somebody say this, young.
Mm.
See, organic, organic, like is to me that's not like you said. You right on point with that. That's not really a super team. If you're doing it organically, like they're growing with one another. They drafted well. They just drafted well and put personnel together well because that's what Golden State did, with the exception of maybe with KD and then of course David West. But I mean even then they acquired they got Sean Livingston and stuff like that. But the main basis were Steph, Clay, and Draymond or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they were done organically or whatnot. And then they got Iguodala and all this other stuff. But I understand what you're saying, man. And see, there was somebody that said this young. They were talking about the San Antonio Spurs were a super team, and I'm like, okay, yeah, they were superstars and everything on the squad and stuff, and they might have been considered a super team, but they weren't super team like okay, joining forces together and all this other stuff. No, they drafted. They were drafted. And the guys they would have some guys that used to be superstars or who used to be very good players that happened to hop on the Spurs, towards the end of their career or whatnot. But that wasn't a super team. But when you compare that to a Miami or Boston, you know what I'm saying, with Ray and KG, or what I'm saying, even this Laker team that could possibly do some damage or whatever. That's a different situation. They didn't all join forces with one another. They were drafted well, and that Boston example was a perfect example that you put up. I'm talking about with Parrish, Bird, and McHale.
Hmm.
That was a perfect example, bro.
Definitely. That's what that's what I said.
How
That's
how,
hmm?
how you think? No, no. Hey, okay. I gotta ask you this. You a ball fan? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, young. I
Hmm.
gotta get this out. I meant to ask you this shit yesterday when I
Hmm.
was when I was talking to Callie and Nick. Look, man, how you think? Uh, okay, Leangelo Ball, man,
Hmm.
where he gonna go, bro? Hey, Leangelo Ball played good in the summer league, man. Contract.
Uh, to be honest, I feel like they gonna put him in the G League. I know for the fact they're gonna put him in the G League just to polish him up, get his feet wet from there. And I feel like
Mm.
they're gonna pick him up in the NBA.
Oh,
That's
you don't think he ready yet?
no, I'm not saying that. No, because he is ready. But I'm feeling like from the GM perspective, from them, I feel like they're gonna put him through three G League. Really gonna put him in G League. Mm. And to get his feet wet, like I said, get his feet wet and polish him up.
Mm.
So that's what I feel like they're gonna do. But to me, I feel like he's ready. Just needs the work. Just need to work on something, and he will come better. Mm.
Right, right. Charlotte, man. Charlotte is gonna be a force to be reckoned with, man. I know some people, man. They like, man, what is the big deal with you in Charlotte? I'm not just paying attention to Charlotte, man, but to me, man, they gonna be a surprise as team. People gonna be surprised because yesterday, what I was saying about Oubre, man. Look, do I think that Oubre, his intellect could be a lot better? Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I was trying to say, that he fits that style, because this is the thing. Hey, young, if me and you play with Leangelo Ball, I mean with a player like LaMelo Ball, do you understand how happy I would be playing with LaMelo Ball? Because he's a joy to play with. So the reason why I say that is because he makes everybody around him so much better, and y'all don't even see that. Like, to be as young as he is, man, and to be at that size, that wingspan, to be flamboyant, but also be able to make your team better. I mean, your teammates better. Dog, they are going to thrive in that offense, and it's going to be fun to play with him. So that's why I said Oubre going to Charlotte or whatever, it would be a great situation, because you got a young point guard in Melo who's trying to prove himself, who's already had proved himself the first year right out the gate, just hit a little adversity or whatever, setback for the comeback. He come back, you know what I'm saying? Come back, bam. They were, because what, young, they was like in the fourth seed at one point.
Mm-hmm.
They were fourth in the East. So that speaks volumes, man. So we can't sit up here and act like Charlotte. Oh, nah, Charlotte. Nah, they ain't going nowhere. No, yes, they is. You got an athletic big in Kai Jones who can run the floor. You got a I think he could be a starter too. Boat night, if you put him at the combo guard and switch up or whatever, boat night, even as a rookie, then you got, you bring in there Oubre, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you still got somewhat of your core or whatever. Shoot, Charlotte gonna be a terror to be faced with, especially athletic in the open floor. You still got Bridges that could catch it from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, man. Shoot. So I'm not. I don't know. I understand why people are going to sleep on Charlotte and think that Lamelo Ball is just gonna not do anything. Lamelo Ball is going when it's all said and done, young. I'm willing to put money on it. Lamelo Ball is going to be one of the best point guards to ever play this game, ever. If he keeps up what he's doing, he's going to be one of the best point guards to ever play this game.
Right. To me, he does. To me, I feel like he does have that pressure on him because out of winning Rookie of the Year and having all that hype in the first season,
Hmm.
can you be better than your second year? And so I feel like that's the point pressure you got to do with. Can he get better from? Can he be better than the second year? Because if he does it, then they're gonna say, he's one and done. Have good way. He had a good 1 year. Then boom, he done. So that's why I feel like, oh, he got to deal with that pressure on that. I feel like he can overcome that. Definitely.
Hell yeah, young man, Lamelo, bruh. Dog, Lamelo man has a chance to be like this dude, man, about to be possibly 6'10", man. I don't think like everybody. Maybe I don't know, young. You a hooper. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hooper too, but like if you don't see the potential in this guy right here, and you don't see how he approaches the game, his tenacity, his attitude, and how humble this guy is, but yet and still he's still a killer. Something is wrong with you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Something something is wrong with you. I'm looking at this guy right here, man. Like he could win a chip in a few years. The way that he playing, just off the fact that people just love playing with him. He already got the people behind him. They don't even really talk about Lonzo like that, anymore. They talking about They talking about Leangelo and Lamelo.
Mhm.
So I want to see him. I want to see him progress, man. I have that photographic memory of people putting, "Oh yeah, he's a bust" in the comment section. They said, "Man, he should just go ahead and go back overseas." Uh, they said, "Man, he won't even accomplish what Lonzo accomplished in the league." They were saying all types of stuff, man.
Definitely it was stuff for them kind of stuff. Cause I remember it was on Ticket Channel and it was a summer league and it was no, he didn't have summer league. It was his debut. He had like what 0 points? Right, he had 0 points but few assists, and then they just boom, they just say he's a bum already. I said, and then I'm like, man, he was like, and I remember Polo and PSN, and they was like they said, it's his first year, like it's his first game. Let him just give it some time. You just can't just rush on the play because you can't just rush on the play because he play over. Just give him some time. He rushed, and then boom, and then once he started getting developed and started getting more minutes, and then people started shutting up.
Right, right.
Yeah, like, you just can't just jump on some person after one bad game. Like that's just his first game. Like just give him some time. That's it.
Yeah, everybody can't come out the gate like LeBron and have 25 and all of that stuff, man. It don't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are slow cookers. Some guys are late bloomers. It's just and it's sad because people are already like I was talking about Wiseman. See, like okay, we were talking about Pascal. Eric Pascal. You can't sit up here. I'm gonna name three guys. You can't talk about Eric Pascal. You can't talk about James Wiseman, Taco Fall, and Bobo, and guys like that. Being trash and all this other stuff. Because the thing about it is that these guys they always get garbage time. You know what I'm saying? They always get garbage time, but until they get they get successful, then you know what I'm saying you the only thing that you really gonna say is, oh yeah, well, that guy's trash and all this other stuff. But you judging him based on 2 to 3 minutes a game or something like that, or 18 minutes a game. That's not really not enough to really judge somebody, especially in garbage time. And that was my only thing. You got to judge a guy. Okay, he getting 40 minutes a game, but he only scoring like 5 points, and he's a -9 on the floor. That to me is more of a fair assessment than anything. We'll see what happens, young man. I'm finna shut it down. You got any closing points, brother?
No, have a very good day.
I'll be back later, man. Nah, It's gonna be different from yesterday. I'm being live all day, so make sure you pull up, man. Could definitely use your insights, man.
All right, man.
All right, Polo Sports Talking ENT. I will holler at y'all.